be starting with the first chapter of class 9 of commercial applications, and the name of the chapter is classification of human activities, as we can see. Now, what do we understand by human activities? Human activities are activities which are conducted by human beings, as the name suggests. Now, these activities are conducted to satisfy human wants. As we know, human wants are unending, unlimited and recurring, and to satisfy those wants, those needs, there are some activities that we have to do not for anyone but our own self. Those activities are known as human activities. Human activities further, as we can see, is classified into economic activity and non-economic activity. Now we come to economic activity. Economic activities are all those human activities which are conducted to earn a livelihood by earning money. We see it's undertaken to earn money and produce wealth. Now, what do we understand by wealth? Wealth is anything that helps us to generate money. For example, people say knowledge is wealth. With the help of our knowledge, we can earn money, right? And we are charging money for that knowledge when we are giving it to someone. Now, next we also see that people often say that health is wealth. Like, for example, if we are fit and if we are fine, we can take part in WWF and earn money. Now, children, we come to the characteristics of economic activities. We see the first characteristics is economic motive. Now, obviously, till now we have studied that economic activities are activities which are conducted by human beings to earn money. The entire story here revolves around money. Now, economic motive basically says that the main funda here is about, it says what activities we do to earn our livelihood in exchange of money. Next, we see productive activities is concerned with exchange of goods and services with the help of production, distribution and exchange of goods and services for satisfaction of human wants. It also deals with creation of wealth when we talk about being productive in economic activities. Next, we have economic resources. Now, we must have studied earlier also in economics that economic resources basically refers to land, labor and capital. So, economic activities make use of these resources of the factors of production including land, labor and capital. How wisely we use also takes an important part here, keeping in mind that we do not hamper the society and we do not oppose to anything that we should not in public. Next, we see rational use. It deals how rationally or how productively we are using our scarce resources like land, labor and other factors of production. Next, children, we have legally valid. This means that all the economic activities should be legally valid. If not, it shall never be considered as an economic activity. Like, for example, people may take part in gambling, in black marketing, in theft. So these which are opposed to public, those activities shall never be contributed as economic activities. Now, we come to the examples of economic activities. As we can see, we have production of goods by a manufacturer in a factory. When a manufacturer is producing the goods it is an example of economic activities. When we store our goods in a storehouse, the warehouse keeper charges money for that. So that money is a part of, forms a part of economic activities. Next we see working of a nurse in a hospital. Now needless to say, we are working for someone in exchange of money. So what is the nurse doing here? The nurse is in a hospital. She is charging for her time, for her work, for her dedication, which is again an economic activity. Lastly, we see here we have service of a teacher in a school or maybe in a college. His contribution, when, as we had discussed earlier, knowledge is wealth. So similarly, whoever tries to give knowledge to any person for money, in return of money, is again an economic activity. Now children, we now come to non-economic activities. Now what are non-economic activities? Those activities which are conducted by human beings, of course, to satisfy social, religious, cultural and sentimental requirements are known as non-economic activities. Now an important part, an important thing to remember here is that money does not take a vital part here. Basically, non-economic activities are conducted for personal needs, out of which may be social value, religion, cultural or sentimental value. We come to the characteristics of non-economic activities. We see that love and affection, personal satisfaction, physical needs, social obligation and patriotism plays an important role. Now let us discuss one by one to understand the clear concept of non-economic activities. Now when we talk about love and affection, we see that when a mother teaches her daughter or a son, obviously she would not charge money, would she? No, she wouldn't. So that is forming a part of non-economic activities. Personal satisfaction. When we are meditating for ourselves, right? For our own satisfaction, for our own contentment. Again, that is a non-economic activity. Next, we have social needs. Physical needs. Physical needs, like for example, when we are working out, when we are exercising, right? When we are going for morning walk. These are basically physical needs. Next we have social obligations. We help anyone who is suffering maybe from an accident, from earthquake, from flood. Those are known as social obligations. Next, lastly, we see patriotism is when we are helping to donate our bloods to the injured person or to the victims. Then these activities, we have patriotism is when we help any injured person or when we donate our blood to any army men. Next, we come to the examples of non-economic activities. The examples like doing social work, helping the poor, going to temple, mother teaching her child, donating blood to injured victim are all examples of non-economic activities. Now, in question paper, we can get one question like, for example, to cite one example which can be economic activity and non-economic activity at the same time. Now, the answer to this can be, while we are meditating. I am a teacher, I am teaching suppose 8 to 10 people for meditation. Out of those 8 to 10 people, one is my suppose son or a daughter. So, of course, I would not charge for her or him. So, this is an example of an activity which can be economic as well as non-economic at the very same time. we come to the classification of economic activities. It is broadly classified into business, profession and employment. We come to business. Now what is business? It is basically concerned with production and exchange of goods or services with the motive of earning profit. Now we know that there are various businessmen. We have often come across this word, right? So basically to become a businessman, we do not require any specific knowledge or skill. The main motive here is to earn profit. Now as we can see, the motive here is profit. So the story here revolves around to generate money and earn profit. Next we see is profession. Profession is basically an occupation which involves application of specialized knowledge and skills to earn a living. Like for example, a teacher, a doctor, a CA. What are those persons doing? They are having specialized knowledge, and for that knowledge they are charging money from us, and that is done to earn a living. The motive here is service and sense of mission. Next we see is employment. Employment basically refers where one person is working for another person in exchange of remuneration. Where people work for others in exchange of some remuneration, and the motive here is to earn salary and other benefits. Now we can also discuss the distinction between business, profession and employment. We see the nature of work is different for all the three categories. Nature of work, we see that business is different because it is concerned with exchange of goods and services for money. For profession, we see that they are charging for their specialized knowledge, and in employment they are basically giving their service in exchange of some remuneration. Next we see no qualification as such is required for business. For profession we do require, and for employment also we need knowledge. The main objective, as we can see, is to earn profit in case of business, a sense of mission in case of profession, and for employment the main motive is to earn salary and other benefits. About risk, we see that business is concerned with high degree of risk, well in case of profession or employment there is no risk. Next we see we have investment. Well, huge capital or investment is needed for business. Again, in case of profession and employment we do not require any investment as such, but yes, when a lawyer charges money, so that is because of the knowledge that they have, but investment has no role to play there. Lastly we see is reward. Now business earn reward in terms of profit. Professional fee is charged by the professions. Lastly we see we have employment, and wage or salary is a reward for the person employed, that is for employment. Thank you.